we're back, and we told you we're gonna back it up, right? There's offense everywhere. You can get offended no matter how saved you are, no matter how strong you are, no matter how bad you are. You can get offended. So the main thing, though, is to get it together, right? To get it off you. That's the main thing. So we want to go to the book and we want to discuss Paul, Barnabas, and John Mark.
Okay.
And we want to see, was there any offense in there? Huh? So let's just discuss this for a minute. Red?
All right. Acts 13, 4 and 5. The two of them, sent on their way by the Holy Spirit, went down to Cilicia and sailed there from Cyprus. When they arrived at Samos, they could proclaim the word of God in the Jewish synagogue, and John was with them as their helper. So then, going down here to verse 13, so then Paul and his company sailed to all those places where John left. So John left them. It says in my footnotes, John Mark deserted the party.
He left the party.
He said, bye-bye.
John Mark just left the party. So do you think he might have gotten offended? Because all of a sudden, why would he leave the party?
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I think he may have gotten offended because this was an important trip, ministry trip that they were on.
And names were being called. Names were being dropped. Right? Barnabas, my cousin. I'm going on this trip with Barnabas, my cousin, right? But then all of a sudden, Paul's name is being dropped and you don't have that kind of... So Paul not really dropping your name like that. Every time y'all do an event, he talking about, I want to thank Barnabas.
So he left the party.
Look, and then John Mark calling that night like, I was there. You didn't call my name. So I'm joking, but I'm serious. I'm joking, but I'm serious because in the church today, when somebody does an event or somebody does something at church, a conference, whatever, and somebody wants to give accolades, sometimes you'll forget a name. That's why I stopped doing that. Like, I stopped doing that. I don't do that anymore. I just say boots on the ground. Thank boots on the ground. Thank you. Because sometimes you forget a name. I literally remember one time I forgot yours. And when I look back at it, I was like, oh, Lord, I didn't call these names.
But
you didn't.
But let me say, but did I say, ooh, that was...
No, you didn't. But I felt some kind of way because so many people had in the past. I was like, oh, Lord, I forgot to call Lisa name. I'm not doing this video. But in the past, and even in church settings, I've seen so many people get upset because somebody didn't call their name, right? So do you think his name wasn't being called enough?
I think so. I think that's what happens. But at the end of the day, you're trying to do kingdom business, carry out kingdom assignments. And so it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about God. And so, and even if you felt like I should have called your name, I feel like, you should at least address it with me.
Please.
Address it with me instead of taking offense.
But then, then that kind of like throws me into like, really? Really? Like, really, you called me to tell me I didn't call your name, really?
And then, and it goes both ways, and that's it. And so now, because now you offended. I'm offended that you offended over that because, again, it's a misunderstanding of, again, the way you perceive stuff. I can't tell you how to see things, but you perceive something one way. Before you jump to conclusions and be offended, give me an opportunity to explain or to clarify.
Especially if we have that sort of, I think this is what I say. If we have the kind of friendship that you say we have, right? Then you should be able to say to me, I don't like the way you said that, right? Or if you did want your name called, it's okay. Deborah, you call everybody's name but mine. Okay, you know what? Now I can do that. Back in the day, I really couldn't do that. I'd be like, really? Really? But now, because, you grow. And, people have sensitive feelings, So now I'll say, well, you know what? I really didn't mean it like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just had my mind on this part, and I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the way you feel,
Right.
and don't ask me how I feel, because I'm going to tell you, I feel like, girl, you need to sit down somewhere, right? That's the way I feel. But I'm not, like, if you ask me, I'm not going to tell you.
Right.
But, you know, but just to walk in love, right? Just to walk in love, then I, you know, like, okay, my bad. Now that I know you like your name called, I ain't gonna call nobody else's name but you.
When we go to the book, we have to see what Jesus did. Jesus was not about people calling his name. And that's the thing about it. I think whether it's inside the building or outside the building, we just have to be lifting up his name. And if we have offended some, you know, because I'm looking at these things, some of these things that we do, not on purpose. I don't want to make anybody I don't want to be a stumbling block to anybody. And look, if I am, like I've said before, we just got to keep it 95. We just got to be able to say, hey, sister, you really offended me in X, Y, Z, whatever you did. And it almost made me stumble in my Christian faith. Well, we have to love one another enough because Jesus did that. That was his example. You know, even with them. What I think is so incredible about the book is all we got to do is go to it and find all the answers. I mean, he put it right here. So love one another. And then say, I'm sorry. You know, if I did offend you, Deborah, Lisa, I'm so sorry. You know, that was not the intention of my heart. But also, we got to understand for ourselves, offense clogs up the line.
Yeah, and you really can't be so easily offended, right?
Right.
Going back to John Mark,
he left the party.
But Paul and Barnabas were also renowned men of God, right?
Exactly.
So you know, sometimes if somebody preaches a certain way, and you know you called to speak, right? And you sitting there. And that one preaches a certain way. And then that one gets up and they preach a certain way. And you're like, oh, wow. You know, it makes you feel, and the reason why is because you haven't embraced who you are, right? So it makes you feel some kind of way. So, like, I'm out here on this trip with them, and, you know, we preaching all over. And Sarah get up and preach first, and she just powerful, and the house just, you know, falling down. And then Lisa get up, you know, and she prophesying, you know, and they just loving it, and now it's my turn. You know what I'm saying?
And, you know, and I have a note here, and it says, offense reveals the condition of our heart.
Yes, it does.
It's not just about what you think someone did or said to you.
That's good.
So offense is one of the tools of the enemy to destroy the relationships of the believer.
Yes.
And that's what's happening in the body of Christ.
About all kind of little bitty stuff, right?
Yeah, petty.
All kind of little petty stuff. It's really crazy. That's why I don't let it linger. I don't let it linger. We're gonna get this off of us. You know, or we're not gonna be around each other.
Right.
Like I can't make you get anything off of you.
No. Right.
But if I go to find that you offended like every 2 seconds, I'm not gonna be able to hang with you is what it's gonna be. I'm gonna still love you.
Right.
I'm still love you.
Right.
But I'm not gonna be able to, you're not gonna be able to hang with me. You can't roll with me if you that easily offended, right?
I mean, who wants to be around people that need to be what's the word?
And pampered and
Yeah. So it's like you got to be acknowledged with everything you do. I don't care what I do. I don't care if you don't say, girl, you was great. Because I don't need that from you. Because when I go to my Father,
He's pleased.
I want him pleased. Lord, I want you to be well pleased with me.
He's pleased.
And then my prayer is, you know, I don't want to do anything to cause anybody to stumble.
Yes.
So, and that means causing offense.
Well, that's why if you're too easily offended, and every time I look around you offended, I'll leave you alone. Because I don't want to cause you to stumble. And I probably would because I'm going to start telling you about it. Like, you know, you need to get it together, boo.
Right.
You offended again? That way towards Sarah, like you offended again?
A baby Christian.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
different.
I'm gonna
That's
somebody
different.
that's new in this
That's
thing who don't understand.
Well, no, that's
But you've been
different.
saved for
9,000 years.
I shouldn't have to go through all
Come
of that.
on now, come
But at
on.
the end of the day, you know,
You still
What
drinking
do we
milk.
do?
You should be eating meat.
Amen.
and some of these people get offended and they eat steak. you.